what I was going to do. Just knew I wanted to be an engineer, but I got exposed to technology 30 plus years ago in the central office, where if you make a phone call today, it goes to a central office somewhere in the world. And I got exposed to that, and no one looked like me. So I said, something's here if I can capitalize on it. And it's changed the trajectory of my life. So I just can't wait, because this young lady that you're going to hear today is extremely powerful. And she means a lot to what Memphis is and the Memphis tech community. But we're not going to belabor, because we got a little bit started a little bit late. But I wanted to make sure that you understood what you're here for. You're here for a great time, for a great word about tech, and you're here to learn as much as you possibly can. And we'll have a quick Q&A afterwards, so you can ask all the questions you need to ask. But first, we have a welcome from our 13th president, Dr. Vernell Bennett Fairs.
Good morning. I'm Vernell Bennett Fairs, 13th president of LeMoyne-Owen College. Welcome to Tech Talks at LOC. Technology is the future. It's almost impossible to become successful without relying on it in some capacity. Today's featured speaker will share how a non-traditional technologist can make the technology field traditional for everyone. People of color are not entering the field, and we need more. LeMoyne-Owen College is helping in that area through cybersecurity, Black Tech Futures, partnerships with Tech 901, and Black Girls Code, just to name a few. Welcome home to Tecia Marshall. It's time to spread your magic.
The stream. Good morning, stream. We're live. All right. So I'll go back a little bit. 1995, 1996, that's the time frame. I'm a high school junior, high school senior, good grades, captain of the cheerleading squad. I am somebody. Right. Okay. But I did not know how to articulate. I loved math, but I did not know how to articulate my love for computers, my love for technology. And so I ended up being the secretary of FBLA, and the secretary of DECA, and the secretary of the senior class. I was just everybody's secretary. But my guidance counselor did not know what to do. That's my first point. Make sure whoever you're around, whoever is feeding into you, whoever is mentoring you, that you're able to articulate whatever that looks like to you. Be able to articulate what it is that you want to do. Describe it the best way that you can. I grew up, I'm a North Memphis chick. Thank you. North Memphis chick. But I came over here and got my degree. But I'm from the north part of town. Parents divorced, raised in the church. I had a lot of stuff going on. When I graduated high school, I was pregnant. I know, right? It's kind of commonplace now. Not quite the best situation, but it's what happened to me. Remember I said I was captain of the cheerleading squad, right? I'm doing all straight A's, all this kind of stuff, doing real well, and then got caught up show. Yeah. So I had to grow up. I thought my life was over, right? I said I was raised in the church, singing in the choir every Sunday morning, and I had messed up. And I know a lot of people. So I had to press my way. There were people around me who poured into me. They kept pressing, they kept pushing. You can do it. You can do it. My cheer sponsor at the time, I went to prison. My cheer sponsor at the time, she ended up later becoming my boss. But she was one of the very first ones to say, "Oh, okay, it's okay. This is how we're going to work this out. This is how you're going to do this. You'll be fine." And that's exactly what happened. So I started at Christian Brothers University as an electrical engineering major. This was the fall of 1996. I started out as an EE major. And then I had my baby. He was very ill, and I couldn't finish there. So I tried to go over to the University of Memphis, and I went from electrical engineering to uh, information, computer science. Still wasn't the best fit. I had the nerve enough to get married at the age of 22. I know, right? I don't know what I was thinking, but I had a lot going on. I was trying to figure out, and this is why I'm telling you all. So that if you don't have a traditional path, or you do have other questions, or you want to see how to get it done, no matter what, there's a way, right? So I ended up married and divorced in less than I don't even think it was 2 years. One of those paper things. My sword down. And so I ended up working at Nike. Started working at Nike in 2000, and I was in their customer solutions division. And there was a young lady who started the same day that I started. And she was a Delta here. I did not know that at the time. But when I was trying to get jobs to take care of my son, I met her. And her line sister back there, her name was Melba. Her name is Melba. But she talked about where she went to school and what kind of experience she had and all this good stuff. And I said, well, I've been almost every school in Memphis. I may as well try them on. Best thing I could have done. Started at LeMoyne 2000, I want to say 2-ish, 1-ish, somewhere up in there. You were just born? You will not make me feel old. Got to LeMoyne-Owen. It was the best thing I could have done. My professor at the time, or the chair of the business division, was Dr. Michael O. Minor, as he was here. And he's also a preacher of the gospel. And he took me in and he said, we're going to work this out. He took all my credits, he took everything that I had already accomplished at Nike. I got credit for classes because I was already in the workforce. So I still got a couple of years knocked off and finished my degree when I was supposed to. But I ended up knocking that out here. Give LeMoyne-Owen College a round of applause. I ended up pledging here. Alpha Upsilon is in the house. Raise your hands, girls. I see June over here. I see my profile in the back. Amber. I'm sorry, Miss Spate. That's not your last name. I'm sorry. But I came to love and know all of these people, and we're still connected today. And when I get to the front of this story, or the not quite the end, but where we are now, you'll see how things are connected. That's my hashtag, or that's not my hashtag, that's my handle, my social media handle on a lot of my platforms. Connect the Connector 901. So I ended up getting my bachelor's here in business administration. I did a master's in public administration because I wanted to do the nonprofit part of that particular degree. I wanted to help teen girls who had been through, or who continue to go through, the things that I had gone through as a teenager and as a young girl in the hood, because that's where I was, right? And then teen pregnancy. I just needed them to know that it doesn't have to end up a certain type of way. You can still be successful. So I did a master's in public administration, and then I went on and had the nerve to try to teach. I went and did the master's of education, and I taught right down the street. No. Booker T. Washington. Yeah. My boss was my cheer sponsor, who had just pulled me up, pushed me, kept me going all those years. She kept up with all of her cheerleaders. Most of us graduated, went into education, pledged, just about everybody. And when she became the principal, she called a lot of us back. So I was in the classroom for a few years as a technology teacher. Then I did a little counseling. And then I became the PLC coach, or the instructional facilitator.
But no matter where I went, even in that school building, I was still the tech person. I was just still the tech girl at church, tech girl at work. And that was not my primary job. Tech girl with Delta. I lead the technology team for my chapter. I couldn't get away from it. And I still had not completed any degrees in technology. So I have a younger brother. He graduated from U of M, and he did a degree in computer engineering. So I would just ask him questions. Hey, is this how you do this? Because I'm bootleg still. But is this how you do this? There was a guy I used to sing with. He now does event planning, but he works in IT for Shelby County Schools. I would call him, hey, is this how you do this? Can you explain this to me? And so eventually, they both told me, this is what you need to do. You didn't do any of your degrees in IT. Go and do industry certifications. That's how you can get started. I said, okay. So that's what I did. I started trying to self-teach at first, but sometimes it takes too long. You leave that book sitting over on your passenger side for forever. So I said, well, let me just go and try to take the classes somewhere. So I looked up New Horizons. Anybody familiar with New Horizons? I know most of the adults are familiar with New Horizons, and they had all types of classes, microcomputer classes and all the Word and all that kind of stuff. And they had what you call CompTIA A+. A+ is the entry-level IT certification if you're interested in, I just say, working on computers, desktop administration. But they wanted to charge me, y'all ready? $3,500. I know, right? No. I said, can't do that. What kind of discounts can you give? And I wasn't in the IT department for Shelby County Schools, so they wouldn't give me a discount. Yeah, I can't do that either. So I was going to go back to Southwest and just take it as a continuing ed class. Just pay I think it's like $300 a credit hour. I was just going to pay that. Take the class, prepare for the test, and find somewhere to take it. The day that I got my acceptance letter back to Southwest as just a continuing ed student, I was on Facebook, and there was a new program coming out, a new school, new computer school. Anybody know the name of it? It starts with tech. That's not a hint, is it? No. Tech 901. Oh, y'all heard of Tech 901? Anybody? Tech 901 came up in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, Robert, if that's not the year. I believe it is, if he's watching. 2015. I went on Facebook. It was an advertisement for a new computer school, Tech 901. And they specifically concentrated on those industry certifications, a non-traditional path. Y'all see where I'm going? I was in the first class, the inaugural class, which was 2016. We took it over the summer, like in an accelerated type of class. It was that June and July. I took 2 classes that same summer. Remember what I said they wanted to charge me? $3,500. Who wants to guess how much I paid for that class? Well, she's not far. I paid $50 for that class. Clap. It deserves a hand clap. Thank you. I mean, that just goes to show you how your steps are ordered, right? Things work together for your good. And no matter where you come from, no matter where you start, it matters how you finish. And who you're supposed to be is going to find you, right? Period. I know. Period. Ugh. I got a teenager at home. $50 for that class. And I was in the inaugural class. I took 2 classes that summer. And then I was so impressed, and I was so outdone that God had provided a $50 class and not a $3,500 class. I just started telling everybody. I was shouting it from the mountaintops. So I'd filled up like their fall class just by word of mouth. They gave me one, maybe it was one class for free, because I was just telling people, this is what you need to do. You ever wanted to go into tech? This is what you need to do. You didn't do your degree in engineering or information systems or whatever the case may be, go do this. Say it again. Okay. Tech 901. And Alicia Kiner, that's my mentor from high school, saved my life. I ended up beginning to volunteer for lots of organizations. That was my way in, because at this point, I have received, when I left Shelby County Schools 3 years ago, I had so many people inbox me. I mean, we're in a different kind of place with education. So it was not necessarily that they were running from education. Now in this pandemic, it's a different story going on. But there were so many people who had dreams that they had not gone after. They didn't know how to do it. They wanted to know, how did you have the nerve to leave? How did you have the nerve to just start this class? What did you do? I started volunteering. I just started volunteering with organizations that had technology or that dealt with teen girls. And that's where Black Girls Code came into play. So if you're not familiar with Black Girls Code, it was founded in 2011 by native Memphian Kimberly Bryant. She went to Central High School, and then she went to Vanderbilt in Nashville. Noticed she was an electrical engineering major. She noticed that there was not a whole lot of folks who looked like her in any of these technology classes. So she moved to what they call the Valley, the tech mecca of the world, Silicon Valley, San Francisco, and founded Black Girls Code. Now, Black Girls Code has 15 chapters internationally. There's one in Johannesburg, South Africa. And they have partnerships with Google, Macy's, Microsoft, AT&T, you name it. And I know these are large names, but you name it, there's a partnership with them. They have partnerships with LeMoyne-Owen College, Center for Cybersecurity, and the Information Technology Department, University of Memphis, Christian Brothers University. 2017, Microsoft adopted, or sponsored rather, the Seattle chapter of Black Girls Code. Well, there was an engineer in Seattle who was originally from Memphis. And she knew that the founder was from Memphis, Tennessee. She was like, I want to do something, not in Seattle. I want to do something in Memphis. She's from Memphis. So her aunt works in the mayor's office. She called Auntie. Did. She called Auntie and she set up a whole panel, City of Memphis and Microsoft, conversations with Microsoft. And Kimberly Bryant was supposed to be the keynote. She couldn't make it. So who did they call? Me. No, that wasn't a trick question. Me. They called me. I have been trying to get, now, this is, I'm just going to say it. I've been trying to get into Shelby County Schools IT department for a long time. I did those certifications. I knew the people in the IT department. But the response I got was, you work in a school building. We need to keep people like you who know how to work those computers in the school building. We need to keep y'all there. But I was like, you can't tell me what to do. This is what I want. This is who I am. So just because you're good at it doesn't necessarily mean that that's your path. I was a level 5 teacher. I was a level 5 teacher. I was good. But I'm a community focused person, right? He read from my short bio that I blog and I try to find people jobs. This is what I've been doing for years. And I knew what I wanted to do. So I went to who I call my mama. I went to my mentor. I went to Miss Kiner and I said, I'm about to begin applying for things outside of Shelby County Schools. I just want to make sure I'm going to remain your kid. I can come and lay on your couch if I need to. She said, I never expected you to stay here. She said, you're the only one. Now, I told you it's a slew of us who graduated, cheered together. Most of them, when they went into the classroom, they were English teachers. I was math and technology. She said, you're the only one who I expected not to stay. And you don't pay me back by being someone who you're not. She said, you don't pay me back by just staying here. I need you out there. You go do that stuff out there. I said, okay. That's exactly what I did. Fast forward to 2019. This is 2022. 2019. I'd taken 3 or 4 classes from Tech 901, had a couple of certs under my belt. I'm applying for places, and I'm on LinkedIn. How many of you have heard of LinkedIn? Good. How many of you have pages? Not quite yet. Not y'all. Not y'all. But my high schoolers and my college students, get you a LinkedIn page. It's your professional social media, your professional networking. I was on LinkedIn, and I work for ALSAC. ALSAC stands for American Lebanese Syrian Associated Charities, ALSAC. And it is the fundraising and branding arm of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. When you all see stuff online and when you all see stuff in the public, all y'all see is St. Jude. So it's all the St. Jude family. But they had a hiring fair. They had an IT hiring fair. Now, I'm good and free and clean because I done told my boss, right, I'm not doing this behind her back. I said, I need to go be who the Lord told me to be. Thank you. So I'm on LinkedIn, and there's a young lady who posted a flyer that they were having a hiring fair. And I went to their hiring fair, and there were lots of my classmates there from Tech 901 who had more experience than I had. They'd already been at somebody's help desk. They'd already been in all these places. Did I get the job? I did not. Not the first time, no. Didn't get the job. Second time around, they had their second hiring fair. I'm on LinkedIn. She posted it. I sent her a message. It was 8:00 at night. That's not late. Y'all be up. 8:00 at night. And I said, oh, I'll be there. I'll see you there. She said, okay. I thought you were already here at ALSAC at St. Jude. I said, no. I didn't get a position. She said, okay, well, send me your resume. I'll flip it to the manager. I said, okay. Yeah, I did. That's the end of the story. But you gotta let me build. You gotta let me build drama. Before she began in the Human Resources Division of ALSAC, St. Jude, she was in the Human Resources Division of Shelby County Schools. You paying attention? Ordered. Steps are ordered. She was in the HR division of Shelby County Schools. She already knew my name. She flipped my resume to he's not my boss anymore. He left. He's a regional IT manager now for Amazon. But she flipped my resume to him. Mind you, have I worked in an IT department yet? Not yet. But I'm the IT person where? I wasn't formally in an IT department yet, but I was the tech person at church. The tech person, right. Unofficially. I got you. At BTW. IT with Delta. She flipped my resume. Took about 2 weeks because I meant I was going to leave. I meant I was going to get me an IT job. I couldn't be IT everywhere else and not officially work it. And about 3 weeks later, he called. He said, I got your resume from our HR person here. Let's have an informal lunch. I just want to holler at you about your aspirations. I knew better. Y'all know I went in my little suit. And I had copies of my resume. I knew better. He said informal, but I knew to have my stuff with me, right? Took it. We went to lunch. I gave him my resume, and he said, this is good. He said, but I don't see any of your experience. I said, well, haven't worked in an IT department before. He said, don't you set up for your faculty meetings? I said, yeah. He said, don't you take care of the principal when she needs tech help? I said, She screams my name. I go running. He said, don't you lead the Memphis chapter of Black Girls Code? I was like, yes. don't you lead the technology team for Delta Sigma Theta? I was like, you read my resume. He said, no, my wife already told me about you. I was like, who's your wife? She was a member of my chapter. At that point, I was trying to make sure I was nice to her, which I was. But he told me, he said, you need to fix your resume. Flip it. Flip your resume. It's still experience. He said, get it to me by Monday. He said, I want to give you a fair chance, but you've got to send me your revised resume. He said, I look to post the position sometime next week. I never heard from him again until I started working. But you all know I didn't wait until Monday to flip that resume, right? As soon as I got home, I immediately flipped it. I had all my stuff at the bottom, my Google Talks and all the stuff that I had done with Black Girls Code, where I had met people from Google and met people from Microsoft. I had all my good stuff at the bottom. So I flipped it. I have an IT resume. He said, create you just, and I know some of this is some things that you already know, but it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. I flipped that resume, sent it to him. He never told me when the position was posted because I went looking on my own. He posted it Monday morning. I said, this looks like what he was talking about. Posted, applied. I had 4 interviews because the position was for the IT support for the executives of LOC St. Jude. Do y'all know who executives are? They're the big folk at the top. They're your CEO, CAO, CIO, all your C-suite, your chiefs. That's what you'll see in your job descriptions. But they're the folks at the top who make the decisions. They're the people you see on television. I'm their IT person. I had 4 interviews. Only one person in the management line asked me tech questions. My certs were on my resume. They knew I could pick it up. It was more about relationship building. It was more about how you treat people. It was about discretion. It was about those things. It was about your soft skills. The tech stuff I could do, or I could learn. I had to learn their systems anyway. So don't ever let yourself think that you don't have everything that you need to at least try. Less than 2 months, I got a call. Welcome. I've been at St. Jude for 3 years. Clap. I find myself mentoring others. They make their way to me. Yesterday, I had a young lady inbox me to say, I think I want to go into tech. What should I do? It happens at least once a day, at least once a day. What did you do? Non-traditional path. None of my degrees now. I'm back in school. Do not judge me. But I'm back in school for my computer engineering management degree. Because that's how I started. That's the one I want. I'm back in school for it. And I plan to get my PhD in engineering education. It's going to merge together. Dr. Elliott can clap. I married my love for, don't do it. My love for technology with, how many of you got a side hustle? Don't answer that. Wait. Grown people. Ooh, I almost got some of y'all kids in trouble. I had a side hustle. I got a side hustle. I'm a notary. Y'all know what a notary is? Notary public? Yes. Stamp. Good. Pretty much. That's pretty much right. I'm a notary public. It doesn't take a lot to become a notary. But not only am I a notary public, I go around and stamp stuff, verify signatures and stuff like that, but I'm a mobile notary. Mobile means I go to people, right? I can charge a little extra for that. I'm also a remote online notary. It is now legal in 41 states. Still kind of new. Tennessee is one of them. New York is one of the last states to come aboard, but it's very new to a lot of states. But that's been my side hustle for like 12 years. Well, I married that with my love for technology. In the state of Tennessee, there are 15,072 the last time I checked. 15,072 notary publics in the state of Tennessee. Only 500 of them, that's not a lot at all, are remote online notaries. It took me less than 3 days to become a notary or to become a remote online notary. And now I'm one of 500 in the entire state. So you can marry or you can merge or you can, whatever you want to call it, your love for technology or whatever your side hustle is. When we are doing Black Girls Code events and we're doing our kickoffs and we're asking the girls what they want to do, we get a lot of answers. We get, some people want to be chefs, and people want to have their own boutiques, and people want to own their own things. So have you ever been into a McDonald's, a recent McDonald's where they have kiosks? Somebody had to program those. Hello. Somebody has to do that. No, I didn't do it. Ooh, now. But it's somebody has to do that, right? You can create your own future. My daughter, and I'm going to end on this, she's 14 years old. She'll be, 15 in April. She's a cheerleader at East T-STEM. She's in the T-STEM Academy. She's a cheerleader, but she's also a Black girl who codes. She's been rolling with me since she was 7. You can clap. Clap for Erica. She's a whole hashtag. ERYC8. She's been coding since she was 7. I just been taking her with me. She's also a licensed hair braider. I got a card. Don't worry about it. I got a card. But she likes to braid hair. And when I saw she was good at it, I took her to somebody, let her do the classes, and I paid for their registration. Well, she can code and she can do hair. She wants to do nursing. That's what she wants to do. She wants to do nursing. So how can coding and technology and even hair braiding, how can that help her with nursing? She said connections. You said? I didn't hear you. It's okay. She can build her own app. She can do it. Build a mobile app in a day. That's one of the workshops that we used to do. She can do that. She can build her own app and accept her own customers if she wants to. Now, her mama still manages all of that because I am who I am. But she has options. She knows how to do those things. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, whatever your interest is, you're going to need technology. And if you don't know how to get there, just do like I did. Be traditionally non-traditional. It's okay. Tech 901, Black Girls Code, whatever the case may be, find you a mentor. But it is very, very, very possible. That's all I have. Thank you.
Yay! Let's get Tecia a hand clap. I am elated. Let's give her another hand clap. I'm like I'm at church. She did a wonderful job. Her story, traditionally non-traditional, is incredible because of how she got there. That's why I wanted her to be my first speaker. She's the inaugural Tech Talk Thursday speaker.
I need another hand clap.
She's the first. So she's the historical moment.
Thank you.
And she's represents Black excellence. I actually went to high school with Kimberly. Me and Kimberly have been knowing each other for 40 years. And so Kimberly's an incredible, I followed her and I watched how she moves in engineering. We were in the pre-engineering program. So I'm so glad this has come full circle with Black Girls Code and with Tecia. Also, I want to thank her for all that she does in the Black tech ecosystem. Do y'all know what an ecosystem is? When you create an ecosystem, Tecia is one of the people within the Black tech ecosystem within Memphis that allows us to continue to move for young people, young girls especially, to understand that you can be a part of what folks have kept us out of. When I came along in 1987, 88, they didn't want me in there. They told me that to my face. But as I told my manager, who was a woman at the time, she said, Charles, they don't like me because I'm a woman. They don't like you because you're black. And I asked her, I'm going to get paid on Friday. She said, that doesn't bother you? I said, I made more money in technology this summer than my mama made all year.
Yep.
Can you imagine that? I was 17, 18 years old in inroads. So her story, your story can be the same or similar. And her story is so powerful. I wanted her to share it. All right. We're going to do questions and answers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Come on, let's give another hand. We're going to take some questions. Where's my Alpha Upsilon rep? So she has the mic. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. Any question?
Anybody?
Okay.
I'm coming to you next.
So it's more of a statement than a question. Our ninth graders, I'm gonna use two words: serendipity and happenstance. We had, y'all can look it up later. And you'll understand once you look at the definition why. But we just had our social emotional learning session in house. What was the topic? What about the failures? Celebrating your failures, understanding your failures, knowing that your failures didn't do what? They didn't push you back. They didn't define you. You are not who that failure is. So reason I'm saying serendipity and happenstance is because right after we had that discussion, we're here with Miss Tecia talking about the same thing, the things that she has actually gone through and then where she is now. She did not let any of that do what? Define her. So I wanted to make sure we made that full circle because y'all will forget before we leave this room.
Good statement. It sure did not. Justin is 25. Whew. Right back here.
She's going to bring you the mic so we can make sure we get it on live stream.
She coming.
Can I mic drop?
No.
Okay. Okay. So my question is, out of all the failures you had, what was things that uplifted you to like motivate you to keep going?
Motivation to keep going. Out of all of my failures, because
Yes,
I
ma'am.
had a lot.
Yes.
Well, I'm a church girl. I have God.
Amen.
That's the big answer. Because and it's a real answer. I got praying parents, all that good stuff. But after you get through praying, and we think of waiting as passive. Waiting is not passive. Right?
Right.
Baby steps. I just took baby steps. Alicia Kiner, my own mama, people who are around me, some of my teachers. By the time I got to LeMoyne, I believe God strategically placed people. I met Melba in my new hire class at Nike. She ended up becoming my profile here. And I believe it was strategic. Some of it has to be internal, it has to be intrinsic. You have to want it. Who you are is who you are. I couldn't let it go. And then things just kept happening. Pay attention. Pay attention to subtle hints about who you are, subtle hints about what you want to do, right? When situations happen, don't count them as losses, count them as lessons. Learn. Don't count them as losses, count them as lessons. You've only failed if you don't try. And okay, so what? Okay, just try again. Like, you won't know. So it takes, if you don't have that around you, and I got a sneaky feeling you all do, even if it's a teacher, there is somebody, find that person. There is somebody strategically around you who can help you get to where you need to get. Thank you.
Thank you. Mic drop, please.
We need those mics.
Yes, please. Those are brand new mics. Do not drop those mics. Thank you.
Okay. My question is that I forgot
Anybody else?
Any more questions before we? For Hollis Price, I want to. She mentioned Tech 901. I'm actually on the board of Tech 901, and at the beginning, I was one of the first board members. I'm still a board member. And you're right. It was about 15, 16, and me and Robert have been on another board together. And one of the things we have here at LeMoyne-Owen College is Tech 901. We have a grant that any student, if we push toward IT, can take those classes for free. And take those classes for free, and we'll pay for the test. No, I said students. Here's the kicker at Hollis Price for those of you in any of LeMoyne students, magicians. You don't have to be in IT to take these classes.
No, you don't. You do not.
And if you're a Hollis Price senior, you get those classes for free as well. And we're working on making sure, even at Hollis Price, if you're in a technology STEM role, for any of you to take them for free. We're focused on our seniors who are actually LeMoyne students as well because of the dual degree. Because they have to because of the grant. So if you're a senior, if you're a student and you want to take these classes, I can tell you to change the trajectory of your life. And you can combine those things with those certifications and the love that you have in any other field. So I wanted to say that while we're waiting on another question. Here's another question back in the back. Hold on a second. Let's bring you the mic.
Take those classes.
Thank you. Thank you, Tecia, for coming to share with us today. I just wanted to ask about your foundation. We have a lot of young ladies who will be interested in Black Girl Code. Do you mind sharing that information so that we'll get those students to you if need be?
Okay. So blackgirlscode.com is the website. Again, it's headquartered in San Francisco in the Bay, what they call the Bay, Silicon Valley. No, not Fraser, not Raleigh, not that Bay where I grew up, but the Bay, San Francisco, Oakland, that area. But for the Memphis chapter, it's my information. Charles Elliott has it. Dr. Farabee has it. We've done enrichment activities with Dr. Farabee before. Our next event, we've been kind of down since the pandemic started because it was they were in-person classes, in-person workshops every quarter. Somewhere different, and we would focus on whatever web development, mobile app development, robotics, virtual reality, AI, just all kinds of stuff. We did 3D printing. The last in-person event we did was at St. Jude. It was at LSAC, and we did gaming. Gaming. Do you know how much money people? I'm not a gamer. That's not my area. But do you know how much money gamers make your age? Oh, okay. So I heard that's what we were doing. Streamer, gamer, what? Am I saying it right? Same thing. Okay, thank you. I need to study. Okay. It don't matter. I facilitate the organization. However, we've not had an in-person event since then. The Community Outreach Division of the Memphis Grizzlies is a sponsor for Black Girls Code Memphis. That young lady is in my chapter as well. Delta's everywhere. Hey, y'all. And our next in-person event hopefully will be in the summer at the FedEx Forum, sponsored by the Grizzlies. We are having a swag drive-through March 12th. That's the Saturday before spring break, I think. But we're having a swag just drive-through. We've not had an event in the last couple of years. So this is a way to get girls and parents back engaged. And we're going to have balloons and pictures and everything set up, and parents can drive through and get Black Girls Code swag, and they can learn about the next event. So if you're interested in that, Amber, just go to get it from Amber. Get it from inside. I'm calling them by their first names. Sorry. That's how I know them. Mr. Elliott, Charles. Get my information from them. They have all of my personal information, and I can get it to you. Thank you. Anybody else? Now, BGC is for girls ages 7 to 17. If you're over 17, you come and volunteer. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hi, darling.
Hi.
So my question is, I do know that we had specifically a young man who wanted to come today, but he was in a college class, so he couldn't attend.
Mhm.
Are there any programs for young men, young guys, teenage guys in tech that you know of in the city of Memphis, so I can take that information back to him?
Yes. Code Crew. Code Crew was founded, is run by Igwewe. There it is. Does he already work with Hollis Price? Okay. Mecca was Black Girls Code Memphis's first lead. He was over Black Girls Code Memphis before I got it. He branched off and decided to do Code Crew, which is a hub for Memphis. And it includes everybody, girls, boys, adults, everybody. They do a little bit of everything as well. Send him, she left, but I can talk to her. Code Crew. Code Crew is where you go. Teenagers can do Tech 901 as well. My first summer, there were sophomores in my class taking these are industry certifications with me. Now, coming out of high school at 17, 18 years old, going to a help desk job, if that's what you want to do, college and a help desk, making 45, 50,000 at 18, you can build. Remember, hustle. I hear you. Yeah. Okay, so Code Crew. Thank you.
And Code Crew will be a part of what we're doing here at LeMoyne. Me and Mecca are part of this Black Tech Futures, creating this Black ecosystem that is needed for people like you and for people like me who are looking for people who can do this work. Mm-hmm. And so if we create this ecosystem, you'll be able to be a part of it. Everything's changing. Everything is tech now. Yeah. So we need as many technology in different fields, not just in IT, right, but in education, nursing, whatever it may be. Got time for one more question. But before I do that, I want to recognize one of the committee members on the technology committee for LeMoyne-Owen College. That's Mario Jones. Raise your hand, Mario. He's managing director at FedEx. Me and Mario.
Excuse me.
He is a managing director. Let me be clear. There are not many Black managing directors, period. And he's one in technology. He's one of the foremost technologists in this city, in this country, from his work at FedEx and previously at CA. He is, when you talk about Internet of Things and the different things technology that has, he is the person that if I wanted to call somebody, we want to see him. I can name them because of what the work they do and they're recognized for. So I want to recognize him because he's here. Any other question?
Anybody else?
All right. Well, thank y'all. We're going to get ready to get off the live stream.